from the cost of living that you should be talking about, to issues affecting the lives of students in campus. Nowadays, student leaders are scared of suspensions and expulsions. Yes, the most important thing that took you to the university is to get a degree certificate. The second most important thing that you can come out with from the university is either a husband or a wife. The third most important is the fact that you are working for comrades. But nowadays, Baba, the student leaders cannot lead anything. Instead of being leaders, they are nowadays dealers. They are dealing. They go to these cabinet secretaries, they go to these offices. There is no way you can work as a student leader if you befriend people in government. Because how then will you do your role under the doctrine of separation of powers, checks and balances? You should be providing checks and balances to the current government. But you cannot deliver if you are in bed with those people in government, because you're already conflicted. So as comrades, let us try as much as we can. Being suspended, being expelled is an occupational hazard in leadership. Once you are a politician, once you are a leader, there are certain things that may or will happen to you. Number one, you can be arrested anytime and taken to prison or seek an asylum. Number two, you can die. Oh, comrade, the senior comrade is here. Comrade James Orengo. Karibu, Governor. Karibu. Keti. Asante sana. That's a senior comrade from the University of Nairobi. So, number one, you can be taken to prison anytime as a comrade, as a leader, even in the national platform. Or you can seek an asylum. Unaweza wacha nchi yako anytime utoroke. Number two, you can die anytime. But there's a Latin word that says memento mori, that eventually either way we will die. So even if you die now or die tomorrow or die in 100 years time, you will still die. True or false? So you should not fear death. Naona another senior comrade hapo, Gabriel Oguda. Sawa kabisa. Number three, you can enjoy also. But most importantly is service delivery to your constituents. So the issue of arbitrary suspensions and expulsions we can handle in two fronts. Number one, by going to court, the litigation process, because education is entrenched in the Constitution as a fundamental human right. Number two, we can talk to the vice chancellors, and I've been doing that a lot. And I want to thank Professor Kiama from the University of Nairobi, the vice chancellor, the current vice chancellor. Baba, around 202 students were suspended / expelled from the University of Nairobi by the time I was leaving. When I became a member of parliament, they were all brought back. As we speak from the University of Nairobi, all those students who were suspended and expelled, even from 10, 12 years ago, were brought back to campus. So that is a person who at least is doing something. So through Baba and even myself, will be ensuring that we talk to these vice chancellors so that you are given an opportunity to clear your education. So you should not fear being expelled or suspended. As Babu Owino, the first time I received my suspension was in my first semester when I was vying for Secretary General in an organization called ONUS in Chiromo campus. I was suspended, and may his soul rest in peace, Professor George Albert Magoa Omori. He said that I should be, actually he was recommending that I ought to have been expelled. But when I went to talk to my principal, Professor Irungu, she gave me another chance. And Professor Magoa accepted that chance. So he gave me another opportunity. That's why when we were vetting Professor Magoa, I was the first person to support him, because at least he gave me a chance. So as a student leader, you should not fear. And in fact, if you are sitting here and you've never been expelled or suspended, then you are not a student leader. You need to look for one at least, because it will form part of your history. The most important thing when you are holding demonstrations, do not destroy university property. The moment you touch university property, you will be suspended or expelled. The moment you leave the university precincts, then that is not a university affair. It now becomes a police affair. With police affair, we have Comrade James Orengo here. He will appear in court for you, so there is no problem. So that is concerning suspensions and expulsions. I've addressed the universal suffrage. Now, on your part, you will have to promise us, comrades, that your voice must be heard. You must come out and talk about these issues. There's a problem as we speak. I was talking to Baba the other day. Baba was advising me on how the price of fuel in Tanzania is lower than the price of fuel in Kenya. But Kenya is giving an excuse every other time that because of the war between Russia and Ukraine, which when we were campaigning, Ruto himself was saying that that is not the cause of the cost of fuel. If you look at